Hey, so if I have a list, it's because I have my retainer in, but I've been in kind of a funk the last few days. I didn't really do much of anything today, which is kind of the goal. But I didn't do too well at doing the whole take a break from everything day thing. I ended up on the phone for like 4 hours talking to family, which is a good excuse, but eh, I was kind of like half the day. I don't know. It was just a bad day, but I find that there's two different types of things, positive and negative. There's things that make me more likely to do my good habits, and there's things that make me more likely to do my bad habits. So for me, I've come to realize that reading makes me mindful. It puts me in a completely different mood once I read. And so I can sit here and be in a horrible mood, not be getting done. I can sit down and read for 10 or 15 minutes, and I will literally act like a different person. It's like the conscious, very disciplined side of me comes out when I read. And so by making reading a daily habit of mine, no matter the length, it allows me to have more time in which I can keep the discipline and conscious side of me out, which is what I want. And I notice there's also some bad things that cause my bad habits to come out. Things like eating unhealthy or sleeping in. But I would say literally just anything bad tends to bring my bad habits out. Um, but I was reading in my book today, it's about dopamine. I learned something very interesting, and it's that we essentially have batteries for willpower, which is what we would call discipline, even though it is technically a dopamine circuit in our brain. But essentially, the idea is they put people in a room with cookies and radishes, and it was a study. So some people were told to eat the cookies, some people were told to eat the radishes, and they were not allowed to eat either or. And the people who wanted to eat the cookies ate the cookies. The people who were assigned the radishes wanted to eat the cookies, but they didn't. They weren't allowed to for the study. And then they, right after, tested all of these same people on endurance exercise, just literally exercise. They didn't specify, like, think like e bike or like literally anything biking, running, any sort of endurance exercise. And the people who resisted the cookie but got the radishes only lasted less than half as long as the people who got the cookies. And so, in exercising all that willpower during the first part of the study, in which they were denying themselves what they wanted, which was cookies, they actually spent their willpower. And so, they were only able to endure for so long before giving up. So, this is interesting because we can apply it to our daily lives. Because if there's things that you exercise a lot of willpower on, then you're probably not going to break those bad habits if you break them on willpower alone. And this is where the book kind of talked about like drug addiction, but like that doesn't apply to me. Um, but it's just basically if you have a bad habit, the more willpower you put into it, the more willpower you're spending, then that means the next time you try that habit, you're going to have less willpower to put into it. And so there's some things that if you rely on willpower alone, you will not be able to accomplish it because you'll spend up all your willpower on your first urge or attempt or whatever it may be, and then you're going to be screwed on all the rest of them. But interesting takeaway for today is that there's certain habits that put me in a very good mood that lead me to good things, and so I should do more of those. And also that we actually have like willpower is spendable and it runs out. And so if we spend too much willpower, this is where you burn out, where you don't have the willpower to do anything else, and this is because you spent all your willpower. But it's also exercise like a muscle, and so the more you do it, the better you get at it. And I think that's really cool because you can kind of look at it as willpower or discipline is a muscle that you can work out to get better. But you can't expect yourself to be perfectly disciplined as if you're an Olympic athlete because you only have a certain amount to give. And you can't be harsh on yourself for only having that certain amount because the only way to build it up is like going to the gym. It's like getting mad at yourself that you can't bench 400 pounds when you've never been to the gym in your life. Like, you have to earn that. You have to get there through willpower. And so you start where you are and then get where you need to be. So that's definitely a good takeaway for today. And I'm going to start applying that to my life. But have a wonderful day.